Hi and welcome to Movies Suck. Now today we're having a look at a story on Bounding into Comics where apparently Kevin Smith has revealed that the second half of the Masters of the Universe Revelation shifts into an Evil Lyn story. And why am I not surprised? Why is it that I'm not surprised that the second half is going to be about the evil female character? We've had the good female character, alright, Sorceress as well, but anyway, the most important one, which is Teela. Now the second half is going to be about the evil female character. Good female character, evil female character. Entirely makes sense from a woke perspective. I mean, why would you want to have He-Man in a cartoon that is predominantly about He-Man? Alright, it's called Master of the Universe Revelations, which was a bit of a trick, wasn't it? We all knew something was up when it didn't start with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Revelations. Instead, it was just Masters of the Universe Revelation. That was a big clue to all of us that something was up, and it really, really was. I know most of you guys out there have probably seen my review. They killed He-Man off in the first episode, they killed him off in the last episode. Wonderful, amazing. That was what we wanted to see, and just in between we wanted to see girls walking through woods and chatting, or girls standing on boats and chatting, or girls opening the door to an underworld and chatting. Yeah, that was what we were hoping for out of a He-Man cartoon. No He-Man and girls chatting. Great. Not even just girls chatting, girls that don't look like girls chatting. Girls who are actually young men wearing wigs and shit chatting. Yeah, that's what we were actually hoping for. Young men that were working up to become world-class bodybuilders. That's what we were hoping for. In any case, let's read the story. I could go on for a while like this. I'm still really ticked off. Masters of the Universe Revelation showrunner Kevin Smith has revealed that following a first half centered around Teela's quest to retrieve the two halves of the broken Sword of Power, the second part of his recently released Netflix revival of the popular 80s franchise shifts into an Evil Lyn story. Wonderful. Actually, to be fair, the character of Evil Lyn was possibly the best thing about the first half. Her and just Man-at-Arms being utterly awesome were the best things about the first half. Unfortunately, they obviously decided to draw someone who doesn't do much physical combat as though she was a bodybuilder. Because she's female, she's one of the main female characters, she must be a bodybuilder. All females are bodybuilders, don't you know, if they're the ones that get to be part of the main story. They must be, rather than just a background character that doesn't speak. No, you bloody friggin' morons. Evil Lyn is not a physical character, she's a mental character and she has extremely powerful magic. So why would you depict her as being some sort of physical presence, other than obviously just a svelte female physical presence? Utterly ridiculous. Smith teased at Evil Lyn's expanded role during a recent Netflix-hosted Q&A session in response to being asked, "Is Evil Lyn actually evil?" asserting that Evil Lyn is absolutely one of my favourite characters, not just because Lena Headey gives what I feel is like an award-worthy performance, bringing this character to life, but also because we mirror Teela's journey with Evil Lyn's journey as well. Exactly. So the second half can be all about Evil Lyn's journey to being less evil, because we see in the first half that she's actually not such a bad sort, and she was actually really helpful, she seemed to care, and then she even says at the end, "I kind of got to like you kids," before she walks off to Skeletor's side. And I agree with Kevin Smith here that she did a great job, and that it was a great performance bringing that character to life, but mirroring Teela's journey with Evil Lyn's journey. So they're doing their best not to involve He-Man, aren't they? I mean, if you listen to his interview, he said, oh, in episode 7, you're going to get more He-Man than you can handle. More He-Man than you ever wanted to have. No, we wanted He-Man in episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Fans would have been happy to have He-Man in all those episodes. But we didn't get that, did we? We got He-Man in episode 1. That was it. There's a couple of flashbacks, but they're hardly worth mentioning. A 1-minute part of a flashback in the whole episode. It's like, great, that's having He-Man. And Kevin Smith claimed, oh, the whole thing is all about He-Man. It wasn't even all about He-Man, was it? It was about getting hold of the Sword of Power. Teela didn't seem to care whether Adam came back with them to say the words, because apparently it doesn't matter who says the words, anyone can say the words, whatever. But now we're going to find out that there's still no He-Man, and we're going to get Evil Lyn's story for the second half. Are we all excited? Really? He says, "You're talking about two women who have been in the shadows of very powerful male characters since the inception of the franchise. Very powerful male characters. Let's just let's put it that way, male characters, and you don't want to be showing those male characters in the cartoon too much, do you? That's why you killed off Skeletor and He-Man in episode 1. This is a big explanation of what went wrong with this cartoon. Seriously went wrong. Kevin Smith was doing what Hollywood wanted, and trying not to involve the male characters. Teela and Evil Lyn were both in the shadow of big male characters, and they were. The cartoon series is about He-Man and his fights with Skeletor and the power struggle between them. He-Man trying to fight for good and to restore order to the world, and Skeletor trying to take over the world and be evil in a very Skeletor way, which involves normally cracking bad jokes and laughing. Anyway, sorry. And so these two characters have been in the shadows. It is what you would expect. They're supporting characters, part of a supporting cast. They're not the main characters. It's utterly ridiculous. What the hell was Smith doing? What was he thinking? Anyway. And Teela, fought side by side with He-Man, definitely. Like more of his equal. No, nobody was He-Man's equal in the He-Man cartoons. Nobody was He-Man's equal. And then Evil Lyn, though, was always Skeletor's subservient. Did he watch the fucking cartoons? Did he watch the goddamn cartoons? Evil Lyn bides her time because she knows that Skeletor is more powerful than her. She knows that I don't think he's a lot more powerful than her. She knows that she's just enough that she can't really take over from him. Although she certainly tries to. Anytime Skeletor's not around, Evil Lyn is perfectly happy to take over. And Evil Lyn gets on with her own business. She sometimes helps out other evil characters. Sometimes she goes on her own and does things on her own. She is not subservient to Skeletor. She admits that she would take over from Skeletor, given half the chance. It is unbelievable that he would treat Evil Lyn that way and say, oh, Evil Lyn is just subservient to Skeletor. No, Evil Lyn is a major character. Skeletor is aware of the fact that if he slips, Evil Lyn will be just dying to take over from him, because she's not that much less powerful. So I find this insulting to Evil Lyn, and another indication that Kevin Smith wasn't a fan. He was not a fan of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And all these little things that come out where he actually says, I wasn't a fan of He-Man. I just wasn't a fan. I didn't really care that much. Words from his own mouth. And yet we're to believe, that he was still a fan. We're not falling for this crap. Nobody is falling for this crap. We gave him a chance. He completely royally screwed it up by deciding to make a cartoon about Teela. And now he's going to make the second half about Evil Lyn. I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt because I've done that already. It's not worth my time to keep giving Kevin Smith the benefit of the doubt. He's let us all down, and from the looks of this, he's going to let us all down again. Except maybe on episode 7, where apparently we're going to get more He-Man than we could have ever wanted. Great. Well done, Kevin Smith. You put him in one fucking episode. To that end, Smith hypothetically asked fans, what happens if those two figures are removed from their lives? Who do they get to be? As we see in these first 5 episodes, there's goodness in Evil Lyn, as Orko points out, the showrunner added. But in the next 5 episodes, kids, it shifts to an Evil Lyn story that is so compelling and absolutely fascinating and satisfying and heartbreaking, just like the goddamn story about Orko was. You just want to make us feel sorry for him and then kill them off. Yeah, well, fuck you, Kevin Smith. Just leave us the fuck alone and get out of our franchises, because you're a big goddamn disappointment and not worthy of us. I'm not even going to read the rest of the story. Screw this. I'm just really ticked off. He didn't care about He-Man in the first half. He cared about adding more Teela and more women. In the second half, he goes on about Evil Lyn and the fact that, in episode 7, we're going to get more He-Man than we can handle. I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all, Kevin Smith. I don't believe you one little tiny bit. And I'm pretty sure that we're all going to be extremely disappointed when the second half comes out. This has been Movies Suck, wishing that Kevin Smith had just left the fuck alone. Signing out. Leave a like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.